Hello and welcome to Scara's Screamcast. Yet another episode. This episode's a very special episode. Well, they all are really, but this one we have a very special guest. This is Hermann, Dachshund of the Doom. I've had Hermann for a few years now. There he is smelling the microphone. That's a good contribution, Hermann, audio wise. But he's going to join me for just a little bit until he gets tired of sitting on my lap. And then I don't know if you're watching this on YouTube, you can certainly see all of the Christmas trees in the background. If you're not watching it on YouTube, you won't be able to see that, but you might see a little bit of lights back there. Oh, I think Herman is already ready to go. He was all cozied up on my lap, and then he saw his brother Gomez go off. I think he thinks Gomez is getting something he's not getting. Herman, let's just look into the camera one time and get you a nice little. Oh, look, on this camera angle, we can see the Christmas tree. Isn't that beautiful? Yes, it is. Herman is so handsome. I always say he's the most majestic, most handsome, best protector there is. He always does his job every day. He protects his mama, he protects the house, he trains his brother, and he's very good at it. Thank you, Herman. And right now, I think he wants to go do his thing, so I'm going to put him down. Hang on. All right. How are y'all doing? I hope everybody's well. If you are watching live, you're welcome to put something in the chat, and whenever my eye catches it, I will comment back. But let's get started. I have a few things I want to talk to you about today. First of all, I'm so happy I get to do this weekly podcast. I'm happy you guys are watching and or listening. It's something I enjoy doing every week, and I don't see myself stopping. So thanks for coming along for the ride. And it's now to the point where during the week when something happens and I want to like pop on Instagram and tell you guys about it, I'm like, oh, I got to save it for the pod. And that happened this weekend. That happened Saturday when I was out at Mama Merlot's for a murder mystery. Now, murder mysteries. Okay, I've been doing Mama Merlot's murder mysteries for a couple of years now, I think. Time is weird. I don't know. Ever since COVID, time doesn't seem like it's linear anymore. It's just, I have no sense of time these days. Oh, Herman's right here by me. He didn't leave at all. He's just on the floor. Anyway, time's weird now. But I think I've been doing the murder mysteries for a few years. And we go through the same company. So I'm very familiar with how the murder mysteries go. People show up to 20 people can play as a character. I can have as many detectives as I want. The murder mysteries are scripted, so everybody gets a character booklet. And I give everybody the same spiel, which is, hey, go ahead and check out this character introduction, read up a little bit about this section on your character. Feel free to improvise. Feel free to give your character some special elements and characteristics. Use an accent. Have a funny walk. Have a catchphrase, whatever it is, to make it fun for you. Give yourself over to an unusual set of circumstances that we find ourselves in. We are underground in a speakeasy style bar in Buda, Texas, which is right outside of Austin, Texas. And we're all adults. A lot of you are enjoying adult beverages, and we're all about to basically play pretend. That's what it is. It's like, it always reminds me of being on the playground in elementary school and how you guys would, or how we all would, come up with games. Like we'd come up with what we were going to play pretend. Or being at the swimming pool, the public swimming pool with your friends. My friends and I would always play pretend like we were mermaids. Okay? On the playground, we would play pretend all sorts of different scenarios. At people's houses, we would play pretend school. I would pretend to be a teacher. We would play pretend to be pop stars. Also, one of our favorite scenarios to play pretend, me and my friends, Rachel and Margaret, we would play pretend that we were big city girls. We had moved to the big city of New York for whatever reasons to be models or something, and that we had all formed drug habits. And the drugs that we were taking were lemon heads and stuff like that. Those Boston baked beans. Do you remember those little boxes of candy you could get for like, I don't know, what was it, 25 cents or something? We thought we would pretend those were drugs. Okay. This was in the say no to drugs era. This one's Gomez, by the way. Gomez just decided to join us on the podcast. He enjoys being on the podcast. So, having said all that, the murder mysteries remind me of play pretend. And you get to do it as an adult, and you get to drink while you do it if that's what you want to do. And it's really fun. People like it. So I give everybody the same spiel. And I tell them about their character booklet. And I tell them, the lines are all in here for you. You can we do everything up on the stage. Everybody takes turns getting on the stage and introducing their character and answering questions from the detectives and all of this and that and the other. And everybody's usually really cool about it. New people are always a little bit intimidated, but I try to help them understand it's not going to be a big deal. I'm going to hold their hand, basically through the whole thing. They're going to be all right. I'm going to explain to them as we go along. They can't mess up, basically. And if they do, it's not a big deal. So I get up to this one couple, and it's a blonde woman, an attractive lady, and her date. And I don't know how old they are. I would put them early 50s, maybe. But they both attractive. And I get up and I introduce myself. I always introduce myself to the women first. And she was very pleasant to me when I introduced myself. And then I introduced myself to the guy. And then that guy immediately started becoming a problem. Like, first of all, before I could even start explaining the game, he was like, "What's my motivation? What's my motivation? What is my character and what is my motivation? To direct me. Like, how am I going to do this? What am I supposed to do? And I was like, "Sir, first of all, relax. Hold on, let me put Gomez down. First of all, relax. I'm trying to tell you, He was like, it was so much coming at me at once. But that's fine, I know how to handle it. It's not my first rodeo." So he's like, "What's my motivation? What do I need to do? What?" And he was trying to be real show-offy. Oh, my bra's showing. Speaking of show-offy, why doesn't anyone tell me your job is to tell me if my bra is showing, chat. God. Anywho, he was being real show-offy to his girl. And he was trying to strong arm me. It was weird. And I just kind of let him go on for a little bit about what is his motivation. And he was like trying to be kind of like Robin Williams and do all this improv shit in front of me. And I'm like, oh my God. Meanwhile, I got a full fucking house. These murder mysteries do really well. It's always a full house. Okay. I've got other people I got to go talk to. So I'm letting him, deflate his fucking hot air balloon of verbiage. I'm letting him do what he needs to do. And then finally I was like, all right, I'm going to explain to you how the rules go, what we do here. So I give him the spiel about, here's your character booklet. Here's, if you answer your questions this way or that way, everything's written out for you. You can do some improv, but you have to follow this script, da, 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 da. And then he changes, his demeanor changes. And he's like, "Oh, well, I can't read that." And these booklets, the print is a little bit small. And anyone that's over, I would say, 45, a lot of the times their eyes are starting to go. So I'm aware of this. And I say, well, up on stage, I provide an extra light. Because usually it's the light that people need. They don't necessarily need anything magnified. They need a light. So I told him, well, I have a light up there on stage and I'll help you with that. And then he didn't like that answer. And I was like, or if you want, you can take a picture of your script and you could zoom it in if that's what you need. And he didn't like that either. And at this point, his demeanor changed so dramatically. I looked over at his lady and she wouldn't look at me anymore. She had started off being pleasant. And this was in a matter of 2 minutes. And she wouldn't even look at me. She was looking right past me. And I was like, "Do you have any questions?" And she just was looking right past me and would barely even acknowledge my existence. And I thought, oh boy, we're going to have an issue. So again, he said, I can't read that. And I said, well, it is scripted. So if don't want to if you don't want to be a character, perhaps you can be a detective, but those questions are also written out. And, I mean, there's not much else I can do for you. And he's like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And, it was very short to me, cut me off. And I'm like, fuck this guy, fine, whatever, friend. I figured we'll deal with it once we get up on stage. He seemed, for some reason, upset about the fact that he had to read whatever. I've got, like I said, other guests to attend to. And he was, I can detect when someone is being a dick. And the dick detector device was going off. The asshole-meter was ding, ding, dinging. Okay. So I let him be. And as I'm like walking off, I'm like 2 steps away and he starts talking shit. And he's like, oh, she's just going to like fucking tell everybody what to do. Like she's going to tell everybody what to do this whole night and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm leading the murder mystery. What? I don't understand what he thought this was. I'm not sure what's not clear to you from the directions I gave you. I'm leading. I am the host, and I'm leading the murder mystery. And that means I'm going to lead all of the characters, every one of you, all of the detectives. But I don't dictate exactly what happens. It's a very beautiful thing, actually, what happens usually. When the crowd is really good, the crowd, the characters, they take on a whole new vibe, and they are the ones that make that game super fun. I improv the whole night. I make jokes. I add on to what they say. I try to keep it lively and fun. But it's the characters themselves that make it a successful murder mystery or not. So the best murder mysteries are always driven by the people that show up and take part in them, that just give themselves over to the ridiculousness of it, because that's really what it is. It's a couple of hours for you to forget your life and step into somebody else's, an imaginary person. So anyway, he's already talking shit 2 minutes after I get out of there, right? What a dick. But I go to a next group, and it's this fabulous group of people that a lot of them are veterans. They've been to a lot of the murder mysteries. They get it. They know how it works. They're amazing, and they're always super fun. So I kind of immediately forget about this dick. And I go around and I finish talking to everybody and getting the game ready. All right. Fast forward. We start the game. And at the beginning of the game, all of the characters take turns coming up and introducing themselves. There's a little introduction in their character booklet. Some of them read it verbatim. Some of it have read it while they're waiting, and they get the gist of it, and they go up there and they do it without the script. Either way is fine, as long as they say, the important points that they're supposed to say. Okay? That's good. But there are important points that they're supposed to say, because these are all clues. Again, it is a murder mystery. We're there to solve something. So finally, this guy comes up. I go through all of the characters, and I see him and his lady at the bar, and they're both a character. And they haven't come up yet, so I called them out, and I'm like, are you guys playing? Are you going to come up? And the guy gets up all kind of haughty, and he pops up on the stage, and he just starts doing a Buffalo Bill monologue from Silence of the Lambs. He's talking about, I'm a great big fat person, and I'd do me, and that whole Buffalo Bill monologue. He starts doing something like that, which is fine. Except his character is not Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, but whatever. So I just let him do that for a second. And then after he's done, I was like, well, that was lovely. What? That was very lovely, sir. But what about your character from your booklet? Do you have your booklet with you? And he pulls it out of his pocket or whatever. And he's like, I can't read this. And I was like, and this is on stage in front of everybody. I can't read this. And he opens it up, and I'm like, well, let me put my light on it. Let's see if that'll help you. So I shine my light on it, and he's looking at it, and he's like, ugh, and he gets all mad, And he starts to try to read it and he can't, his eyes, I guess he's like, Mr. Magoo or something. He can't see. All right. So he crumbles up the booklet, the character booklet, and throws it into the audience. And again, starts some weird ass spiel, just make something up. And I don't quite fucking understand what he didn't understand about you have a specific character, that you are portraying. There are 20 characters and you have agreed to play one of them. You paid money to play a character. I don't get what he didn't get about that. It's very clear. So I let him go on with that spiel. At this point, the audience is like, the fuck is going on? Like, I see it on their faces. They know, especially the ones that have been there before, they know something's amiss. But I just let him. I love that saying, let them. You know what I mean? I don't cut him off. I just let him go. I just let him roll with it a little bit. Just providing him with the rope he's going to need to hang himself. You know what I mean? So he goes on for a little bit with his improv. And then again, I say, that was wonderful, sir. Unfortunately, you do need to use your character booklet and go along with the script to play the murder mystery appropriately and fairly to everyone else that is here. So is that something you can do? And he was like, no, it's not. And I was like, all right, sorry. And then he just walks off and goes back up to the bar. His lady's still up there. So I was like, ma'am, are you going to play along? And she just is like, with the biggest stank face I've ever seen. I mean, I felt bad for her, honestly, because his mood was toxic and it just really infected her. And it was something obviously that she was used to, because the second his mood shifted, she put up a force field shield, So I knew like this was not new to her, and I kind of felt bad for her for it. He was an asshole, though, and I don't feel bad for him at all. I don't feel bad that he was Mr. Magoo, because the way he could have handled that was politely. The way he could have handled that was, ma'am, honestly, this print is too small. There's no way I'll be able to read this. Even with my suggestions of taking a picture and zooming, which, by the way, someone else did that night, and it worked just fine. But he decided to be a dick and try to take over the game because he's all important, He's one of those, it's all about him, okay? He's here to play the game, and he's going to make the game work for him. That's what he thought. Meanwhile, we got a room full of people that are all trying to play the correct way. So I continue on with the game, and I'm keeping my eyes on them, and I'm keeping my eyes on his crumpled up ass script that was on the floor that just he left there. And I watched them leave. They sign. He's able to see the check, by the way, and sign his name and calculate a tip. I saw him do that. He's able to do that. But I saw them leave. They got the fuck out of there. And I took the opportunity. First of all, I got her booklet, her character booklet, and I gave it to somebody else who wanted to play. And I didn't reassign his character, but somebody else got the female character. And they left. And once we started the next round, I addressed what happened. And if you have the opportunity to bring a room together by having a common enemy of an asshole, I encourage you to do so. Because we unified in that room, baby. We unified. We were one. It was us against Mr. Magoo. It was us against Mr. Make It All About Me. It was us against Mr. Fake Buffalo Bill. It was us against Mr. Hot Air Balloon showing off for his date. It was us against the fucking asshole. And we won. We were laughing. We were cracking jokes, ha-ha, and kikiing about that guy. Someone had done and went and picked up the script off the floor and gave it to me later. He continued to be a running joke throughout the rest of the night. At the end of the night, we give out awards, and one of the awards is Best Improv. And I asked the audience, I was like, who do you think we should award the prize for Best Improv? And someone said, Buffalo Bill. And I about peed my pants. I laughed so hard at that because it's true. It wasn't a bad improv. It just wasn't for the game that night. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. So that was Mama Merlot's. That's what happened this weekend. But I wanted so badly on the drive home, I wanted so badly to pop on Instagram and tell you guys about it because that's what I would have done prior to the podcast, before the days of the podcast. But now I'm like, oh, SITTP. No, SIFTP. Save it for the pod. SIFTP. That's what I do. I'm going to save it for the pod. The next murder mystery, by the way, at Mama Merlot's that I'll be hosting is on December 20th. It's from 8 to 11. It's called Operation Save Santa, a North Pole Mystery. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. By the way, speaking of Christmas, you could see my tree behind me. Contrary to popular belief, I do love Christmas. People always think that because I am a Halloween forever type of a person, that my home is eternally decorated for Halloween and for witch living. It's goth, it's witchy, it's Halloween, it's dark, it's aesthetic. People think that because of that I don't like Christmas, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I love Christmas. I don't love seeing Christmas displays out in October. That doesn't make me happy, but that doesn't have anything to do with Christmas. That has everything to do about capitalism. But Christmas, I like. I like the traditions. I like the lights, the Christmas trees, the decorations. I like all that stuff. I love going on walks at night in the neighborhood and everybody's Christmas lights are up and I could see their Christmas trees glowing in their windows. I like the taste of eggnog. I can't have it because it has sugar in it. And I can't have sugar, but I remember what it tasted like and it's good. Good old eggnog latte. I like a lot about Christmas. I even have like good memories of midnight mass growing up as a Catholic. I liked all that stuff. Oh man, I could go in. That's a whole episode right there. I could go in on growing up Catholic. Yeah, buddy. I got all sorts of material on that one. But yeah, I love Christmas. I can't wait to decorate for Christmas. I love having a tree up. There was 2 years back to back that I did not have the Christmas tree up. The first year was when I think it was 2018. I had an automobile accident and I broke my arm. I broke a tooth right out my mouth, basically. Bruised up a bunch of ribs and things. I was busted up. And I couldn't decorate that year for Halloween. And I was so mad about it that I decided not to decorate for Christmas either. I was surly. Also, I don't think I was feeling quite well by December. I was still busted up. One arm, I had one arm in a sling. And then the following year, my father passed away. And he passed away right around Christmas time. And I didn't feel like doing it then either. But now we're back, baby. And the lights and everything are back. Everything's back. Guess who's back? Back again. Christmas back. Tell a friend. I love Christmas. Not as much as Halloween, but I do love it. I don't even have one of those Halloween Christmas trees. I don't do the horror ornaments. I don't have a black Christmas tree. If I did, I would do a black Christmas tree with red lights. I think that looks kind of cool, but your girl's a traditional witch when it comes to Christmas. Look at this. If you're watching, let me get this on the camera. Most of these lights on my Christmas tree are still incandescent. I am hanging on to these incandescent lights because the LED, see, look at those. First of all, on camera, the LED lights look like ass. Secondly, in real life, the LED lights look like ass. but the incandescents are beautiful. Again, mostly traditional for me. I like a green tree. I prefer a real tree, but you know, I'm busy. I can't be going out and getting real trees every year. So I finally bit the bullet and got an artificial one a few years ago, but it's huge. I love it. It's bright and warm and glorious, and I like it. Okay. Speaking of Christmas, I have something else. Oh, I just hit the microphone. Sorry. Oh, before I go into that, let's see. This past weekend, besides the murder mystery, the Immortals played at my buddy Boudreaux's birthday. He does Boudreaux's Black Friday birthday. This was the fourth one he's done. I think it's the second one we've played it. Maybe the third. I think we've played 3 out of 4 of them. That's awesome. And we had a blast. It is the last show that the Immortals are playing until February. We will be playing Nosferatu Festival. We're headlining Nosferatu Festival. Nosferatu Festival is taking place here in Austin February 27th through March 1st. And we will be playing Saturday, February 28th. We're headlining this year. I'm going to talk a lot more about that in the weeks to come. But if you go to nosferatufestival.com, you can get your early bird tickets right now. They are on sale. It's a very fun festival. They've got the bands are all playing at Kick Butt, which is a very fun venue. We play there a lot. The host hotel this year is the Holiday Inn on Middle Fiskville Road. That's where all of the vendors will be, and the day events, the day walker events. And again, I'm going to talk more about that in subsequent episodes of the Screamcast, but I did want to put that out there. The Immortals, we have nothing on the books until February. We will be, going in the studio and tracking some songs and whatnot, maybe writing some new stuff. We'll see. Got some ideas brewing, but we had a good time. I love Hanover's out there in Pflugerville. It's a great venue, great sound. And Boudreaux's party was a success. It was very fun. He had a guy out there doing tattoos and a couple of cool bands and, lots of good people, good friends out there. So that was fun. But the next thing that is coming up is this weekend, Friday and Saturday, Horror for the Holidays, December 6th and 7th at the Palmer Events Center, guys. Horror for the Holidays, December 6th and 7th at the Palmer Events Center. It is the biggest and longest running horror-themed holiday event here in Austin, Texas. It started in 2014 as just a vending market. You could go and get your dark wares, all sorts of, they've always had amazing vendors out there. Some of the best vendors that I have seen collectively at any event. Horror for the Holidays has always been on top of it. So back in 2014, it started as just that, a vending event, basically. But it is now grown to epic proportions. I mean, last year was huge. They had David Howard Thornton out there, Art the Clown, amongst others, Linnea Quigley, Alan Troutman, the guy who was Tarman in, dang, why is that movie going on in my mind? You know who Tarman is, gosh, Google it. And it is now, I think, maybe one of the only horror expos of its kind. And it's huge. It's amazing. You can shop until you drop. You can buy the most unique and fun gifts you'll ever see for yourself or for your family or friends. And you get to meet horror icons. I got to tell you who's going to be out there this year. There's also a film festival if you are interested. I love film festivals, and they've curated a nice film festival this year. I'm on their website right now. It's bloodovertexas.com. And I'm going to click on special guests because I want to tell you who's out there. All right. I'm going to start with the 3 that I get to interview. I'm doing a one-on-one with Ken Foray. Now, you might know Ken from his iconic role from Dawn of the Dead. But Ken has also been in a lot of other horror movies. Specifically, he's worked a lot with Rob Zombie. He was in Rob Zombie's Halloween. He was in The Devil's Rejects, also in Lords of Salem. And so many more other movies and projects. I'm excited to talk to him about his various roles and his various involvements in the film world. So that's Kin 4A. I have a panel that is two people at the same time. Dee Wallace and Henry Thomas. I think I told you about this last time, but Dee, you know her. She was the mom from E.T. But Dee has been in so many movies, highly recognizable and very, very kind. Dee's been in Cujo, The Howling, Critters, The Hills Have Eyes. It goes on and on. She's also been in a lot of Rob Zombie movies. She's going to be there. And then Henry Thomas, he was Elliot in E.T., first of all. Holy moly. But he's done a lot of work with Mike Flanagan. Midnight Mass, Mike Flanagan. He was in that. He was on the Haunting of Hill House. He was in The Fall of the House of Usher. He was in all of those. And I look forward to asking him about all of his work with Mike Flanagan. And also, I'm going to get in on that E.T. business. Now, E.T. is not a horror movie, but E.T. is a cultural icon. And both of those actors have been in a variety of horror movies. And I always say that sci-fi is horror adjacent. And in any movie that features aliens is sci-fi. Okay. That's how that goes. Oh, let's see who else is going to be there. I'm glad you asked. Miko Hughes. Miko played Gage from Pet Sematary. Okay. He was also in Kindergarten Cop when he was a little kid. He's been in all sorts of stuff. Let's see. Oh, Barbara Crampton. All right. She was in Reanimator, From Beyond, Chopping Mall, Castle Freak. It goes on and on. A lot of people are very familiar with Barbara. And Patty Mullen. Patty was Frankenhooker. Patty's fabulous. Patty was also in my movie, Damsel of the Doomed. She has just a small, tiny part in there, but Patty was in Damsel of the Doomed. She signed away. She was out at Cult Classic Convention and we got some footage of her and she let us use it. Very nice. I think we gave her a little money, but Patty Mullen's great. She looks amazing, by the way. You can still buy tickets now for that, or you can buy them there the day of the event. But I say buy them in advance because then you're really going to solidify that you're going to go. It's a fun event, and it's something that people are making a traditional event, something that families do together. There's people of all ages go. I see little bitty kids out there, and I see adults out there. House of Torment is out there, and Bat City Scaregrounds are out there. So there's a lot of photo ops. They do the Krampus parade and the elf races and the story time. There's a lot of cool holiday activities. You can make a weekend out of it, or you can just go one day. But I encourage you to go to bloodovertexas.com and look at the schedule so you can see what's going on for horror for the holidays. All right, let's see. We're getting close to wrapping up. I'm going to encourage you. Let me see. What camera do I want to do this in? This one? I'm going to encourage you to call 510-710-8766. That's 510-710-8766. That is Scara's Scary Hotline. Give me a call, leave me a message, ask me a question. I'll play your call on the podcast, and it'll be fun for all. I like participation. I like it when you guys participate as much as I do. So give me a call, 510. Did I say 510? Please do not do that. It's 51. Oh, it is 510. Sorry. I got confused. Give me a call at 510-710-8766. 510-710-8766. That's Scara's Scary Hotline. Leave me a message. Ask me a question. I'll play your call on my podcast. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's start to wrap her up, shall we? Let me just make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Sorry. This is oh, look at this book. A friend named Rick sent me this. It's lovely. It's aged. I usually write my notes in a different book, but I misplaced it anyway. This is from Rick. Thanks, Rick. Okay. I think that's about it. If you're in the Austin area, I hope I get to see you this weekend at Horror for the Holidays. If not, give me a call. You can always follow me on Instagram, Scara_Damsel of the Doomed. Oh, that's the other thing. Here's one last thing. Sunday, December 7th, I'll be out at Doc's Drive-In Theater for Horror Web Presents Scara's Scream Theater, where I'll be showing you a black comedy Christmas horror movie from the past. And it's one that you can bring, the family to. It's one you can bring young children to. The thing I'll tell you about this movie is it is one of the very first movies. There's two movies at the time in the 80s that ushered in what is now its own genre of horror comedy. And this was one of them. Christmas horror comedy. Okay? You can come out there to Doc's Drive-In Theater on Sunday, I always want to say September, girl. Sunday, December 7th. We start at about 7 o'clock is when the movie rolls, but we get there a little early and we all have a drink inside Mama Merlot's. So come out there. Have a good time with us. I appreciate you for watching or listening. Leave me a comment and I will talk to you next week. All right? Until then, I will see you in your screens. Goodbye.